wonderful, the striker.
Yeah, so back in the street.
Wait, which way is your camera?
That way?
That way.
Why do you want to be on film? Do you want to say something?
I don't think I've got anything to say, particularly at this moment, other than tell them what we're about to do.
Yeah, shall we do that?
Kind of. Yeah.
Oh, I can only fit one of us on at a time. Shall we stop? There. Are you looking forward to today, Joe?
I'm very excited.
So am I. I've got
Very
nerves.
excited.
Nerves are kicking in.
Are you videoing?
Yeah, I am. Can you smell weed, or is it just
I
me?
can smell weed, yeah. Definitely. Yes,
There's
get
the
it
police.
in.
Woohoo! I don't know if you can see it on the camera because it's a bit far away.
Yeah, I did that.
What?
The police. The police are there because of me. Although the police might be there because of the opposition that they knew about already.
Well,
The opposition might have cried baby and gone, oh, these ladies are going to speak hurty words. Please come and protect us from the hurty words, even though we're big, huge, ginormous men with muscles.
now they've got lady feels.
Lady feels. We're so emotional. So they're probably trying to pretend they've got
Right.
the period and all kinds going on.
I'm going to stop now.
Oh, there's one of your cars.
Oh, I haven't got one of them anymore.
What you used to have.
Let's go this way. Oh, cool. 2 police vans and a police car.
You'll find someone to talk to. So we'll talk to those guys down there. Lovely cows. So the woman I spoke to didn't send the information with the names on, even though I asked her and said there's no way I can remember these.
There's the ones in the blue tabards, it's fine.
I've got a load of ties.
Oh, you have? Yeah. Yeah, we've seen each other before.
There she is. It's Linzi. Let me give you a microphone as well. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Right, hello everybody. I don't really like doing these types of things, so it's probably going to be short and sweet. All right then, tough. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Linzi Smith, and I am the woman who successfully took Northumbria Police, their Chief Constable Vanessa Jardine, to judicial review over their participation in Pride. And I won. I proved in law that participation in Pride is political that it is unlawful for these police officers to do anything other than police the events. They should not be marching or pontificating to anything to do with that other side. It doesn't ensure that we, as sex realists, gender criticals, whatever people want to call us, we cannot trust the police force to police impartially if they are stood there marching and dancing with that militant flag. So now it's no more. They're not allowed to do anything. They're not even allowed to participate. They can participate in their own private capacity if that's what they want to do. If they're a gay or lesbian, bisexual police officer, no issues. Just make sure no one knows you're a copper. You know, it's as simple as that. You can't identify yourself as a police officer if you are going to participate in these events. My favourite thing about it is the fact that all those stupid rainbow vehicles are now gone. That was my ultimate goal, and I make no apologies for it. So, do you know what? Yeah, I would probably bank that most police officers are delighted that they're now not forced to participate in this nonsense. Police are there to police with impartiality, without fear or favour, and that is not just around the gay agenda, it is around everything to do with politics. We cannot have the police being seen to lean one way over the other, because that is how civil wars break out and the public start taking things into their own hands. That is why we're seeing more aggression, more frustration from your general British citizens at the moment, because we are seeing it everywhere, whether it comes to religion, whether it comes to this pride nonsense, whether it comes to any of it. Pro-Palestine, if you're pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, whatever it is, the police should be there to police impartially. So, sorry not sorry, I'm the lady who did it.
Everyone, my name's Kelly and I live in Whitley Bay. I've lived here since 2009 and I've seen a lot of changes over the years. At first, I didn't see the harm in what they were saying. I really just thought we should live and let live, but then I realised how harmful it is to women and children. I got involved in Let Women Speak. I started going to events. And then last year, I stood for Party of Women. So I stood in this area, the Tynemouth constituency, and I was really pleased because I didn't come last. So there was 9 candidates in the election altogether. Actually, there was 2 people who came after me. So I got 268 votes, I think, and I was really pleased with that. And I think it just shows how much that's needed. So, yeah, so what I've realised is that women aren't able to speak. And that's the position I was in after I went to my first Let Women Speak. It was in Newcastle in 2023 in January, and it was absolutely freezing. And I commented on this Pink News article thinking, oh, they've got the wrong end of the stick, I'll just put them right. And I then got threatened by some big bloke who looked like a drag queen, which made me go, oh, what am I dealing with? So I was quiet until I stood in the election, and then I started speaking out. So yeah, it's really needed. And that's why you can see why it's needed. These people are, yeah, they've got issues and it's really harmful. The word trans means lots of different things, and that's deliberate because they're trying to confuse you about what they mean. So I urge you that if you're walking past and you don't know what this is about, go and do some research and have a look, because it's the more you see, the more you realise how awful it is. I just was quite shocked when I started looking into it and realised how bad it was and how unhealthy it is for women and children, and actually the whole of society, because we are being silenced. And just for Kellie Jay, I have to say, how are the lads?
I've got a load of ties.
Oh, you have? Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen each other before.
Tell us about your sign.
Oh no, I didn't know you meant that. No,
say
I
what
was
you've just said.
absolutely outraged that the women in Scotland weren't allowed to drink, weren't allowed to eat, weren't allowed to gather. Shocking. Just absolutely shocking.
Thank you.
Yeah, just spoken to them.
Yeah.
You know, Yeah, I've just.
Come in. If you're behind, come in the front. Okay, so if you're walking past and you have no idea what this is called Let Women Speak. We are a global women's rights organisation, and we promote the voices of women in a society in which many women feel that they can't speak about the things that they see before their very eyes. For people watching at home, there are a number of families, little children, so some of the words that I might normally use, I'm not going to be using today, and I would ask anybody who's coming to speak if you can just be mindful that there are children around, like lots of children, families trying to have a nice day. So some of the words we might pretend that Tommy has actually changed sex and is now a girl. And they'll be learning that not just with actual examples, but they'll also be told that they can literally choose their biological sex. It ended in a T, but I'm pretty sure he was saying, I admire everything you do, thank you for standing out for women and girls. I guess it takes one to know one, doesn't it? But the NHS, I think there's a gender clinic, a so-called gender clinic, which will give puberty blockers to children in Newcastle. And then your NHS, like all other NHSs, they pretend they don't.
I have got a little speech. I might not show you all the pictures, bearing in mind the amount of children that are around, but I want to talk about schools. I'm from a group called Protect and Teach, who are very concerned about safeguarding in schools. And what we've noticed is that there is a rise in the number of men who leave on the summer and as a man and come back in September dressed as a woman and expecting the children to call them miss. And we think this is a huge safeguarding fail. So I've got some questions for you, a bit of interaction here. So here we have images of two people. Okay, now here's a question. This one with the long blonde hair, is that a male or a female?
Female.
Well done, 10 out of 10. Is the one on the other side, do we think that that is a male or a female? Male.
There she is. It's Linzi. Let me give you a microphone as well. Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
So, hello everybody. I don't really like doing these types of things, so it's probably going to be short and sweet. All right then, tough. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Linzi Smith, and I am the woman who successfully took Northumbria Police, their Chief Constable Vanessa Jardine, to judicial review over their participation in Pride. And I won. I proved in law that participation in Pride is political, that it is unlawful for these police officers to do anything other than police the events. They should not be marching or pontificating to anything to do with that other side. It doesn't ensure that we, as sex realists, gender criticals, whatever people want to call us, we cannot trust the police force to police impartially if they are stood there marching and dancing with that militant flag. So now it's no more. They're not allowed to do anything. They're not even allowed to participate. They can participate in their own private capacity if that's what they want to do. If they're a gay or lesbian, bisexual police officer, no issues. Just make sure no one knows you're a copper. You know, it's as simple as that. You can't identify yourself as a police officer if you are going to participate in these events. My favourite thing about it is the fact that all those stupid rainbow vehicles are now gone. That was my ultimate goal, and I make no apologies for it. So, do you know what? Yeah, I would probably bank that most police officers are delighted that they're now not forced to participate in this nonsense. Police are there to police with impartiality, without fear or favour, and that is not just around the gay agenda, it is around everything to do with politics. We cannot have the police being seen to lean one way over the other, because that is how civil wars break out and the public start taking things into their own hands. That is why we're seeing more aggression, more frustration from your general British citizens at the moment, because we are seeing it everywhere, whether it comes to religion, whether it comes to this pride nonsense, whether it comes to any of it. Pro-Palestine, if you're pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, whatever it is, the police should be there to police impartially. So, sorry not sorry, I'm the lady who did it.
Everyone, my name's Kelly and I live in Whitley Bay. I've lived here since 2009 and I've seen a lot of changes over the years. At first, I didn't see the harm in what they were saying. I really just thought we should live and let live, but then I realised how harmful it is to women and children. I got involved in Let Women Speak. I started going to events, and then last year I stood for Party of Women. So I stood in this area, the Tynemouth constituency, and I was really pleased because I didn't come last. So there was 9 candidates in the election altogether. There was 2 people who came after me, so I got 268 votes, I think, and I was really pleased with that. And I think it just shows how much that's needed. So yeah, so what I've realised is that women aren't able to speak, and that's the position I was in after I went to my first Let Women Speak. It was in Newcastle in 2023 in January, and it was absolutely freezing, and I commented on this Pink News article thinking, oh, they've got the wrong end of the stick, I'll just put them right. And I then got threatened by some big bloke who looked like a drag queen, which made me go, oh, what am I dealing with? So I was quiet until I stood in the election, and then I started speaking out. So yeah, it's really needed, and that's why you can see why it's needed. These people are, yeah, they've got issues, and it's really harmful. The word trans means lots of different things, and that's deliberate because they're trying to confuse you about what they mean. So I urge you that if you're walking past and you don't know what this is about, go and do some research and have a look, because it's the more you see, the more you realise how awful it is. I just was quite shocked when I started looking into it and realised how bad it was and how unhealthy it is for women and children, and actually the whole of society, because we are being silenced. And just for Kellie Jay, I have to say, how are the lads?
The leather jacket from John Lewis men's section. Has she changed her sex?
No.
And if the man, if he puts on any form of dress, which is what women would normally wear, do we think he's actually changed his sex?
No.
Now the next one is really hard. If he grows his hair and puts on a V-neck t-shirt, has he become a woman?
No.
In Australia, might be a different answer, but no. So my question is, we have correctly gone through all these, and we have agreed that you cannot change your sex. So my question is, why bleep are schools to say a man is a man, and once you start silencing them, they will be silent on other issues, which is where getting rid of the boundaries comes. And I'm going to stop there because everybody was now. Thank you very much.
They don't know what a lesbian is. Because what a lesbian is someone attracted, 2 women attracted to each other, women being adult human females, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to erase what it means to be a lesbian, which is deeply homophobic, and they should be ashamed. As a 50-year-old woman, I know, it's shocking. As a 50-year-old woman, I just want to say that in the 90s, we had this thing called like categories where we all understood what everyone was. And we were in a genuinely progressive time where most of us having children... Right, I just want to say there is no such thing as transgender. There is no such thing as transgender. When someone says, I'm trans, what they're telling you is that they have a set of behaviours in which they want you to pretend that there's something that they're not. It's absolutely ridiculous. We don't want you to have to wear a binder. We don't want you to wear a binder and be like a 5'1" woman pretending to be a man when nobody believes you. We don't want young women to cut their breasts off, to take harmful testosterone that leads to Alzheimer's, chronic illness, brittle bones, osteoporosis, and deep anxiety that they never recover from. That their vocal cords get deep in a way that they sound like they're being strangled. And nobody believes that they're men. Nobody believes that you're a man. They all see a small woman with a personality issue. No one believes you with your scars. No one believes you. What we see is a girl that's been told a lie, that actually if she cuts her breasts off, she escapes misogyny. What a load of rubbish. You don't escape misogyny just because you cut off your breasts and take testosterone. You just delay it. And then when you're older and you have dementia or Alzheimer's, you won't remember that you pretended to be a man all that time. You'll just be devastated that you've got a hairy chest, a deep voice and no breasts. And every day someone will have to remind you that you did that to yourself. So that's what we're talking about. Trans rights is a behaviour. Trans is a behaviour. Men who call themselves trans women, they want access to women-only spaces, and the more upset about it you are, the better for them. It's Linzi.
Right, hello everybody. I don't really like doing these types of things, so it's probably going to be short and sweet. Alright then, it's tough. So, for those of you who don't know, my name is Linzi Smith, and I am the woman who successfully took Northumbria Police, their Chief Constable Vanessa Jardine, to judicial review over their participation in Pride.
Yes!
And I won. I proved in law that participation in Pride is political, that it is unlawful for these police officers to do anything other than police the events. They should not be marching or pontificating to anything to do with that other side. It doesn't ensure that we, as sex realists, gender criticals, whatever people want to call us, we cannot trust the police force to police impartially if they are stood there marching and dancing with that militant flag. So now it's no more. They're not allowed to do anything. They're not even allowed to participate. They can participate in their own private capacity if that's what they want to do. If they're a gay or lesbian, bisexual police officer, no issues. Just make sure no one knows you're a copper. You know, it's as simple as that. You can't identify yourself as a police officer if you are going to participate in these events. My favourite thing about it is the fact that all those stupid rainbow vehicles are now gone. That was my ultimate goal, and I make no apologies for it. Do you know what? Yeah, I would probably bank that most police officers are delighted that they're now not forced to participate in this nonsense. Police are there to police with impartiality, without fear or favour, and that is not
Kids. Wow. What a crazy thing to say. I love sterilising children, she said. I like lying to children, she said. I like making children's sexual function disappear, she said. I love trans kids. What an absolute silly, silly, silly woman. I just say she didn't sound like she was from Whitley Bay either. She didn't say grew up in this. That group of the people that are in the HR departments have been making your lives hell. They've been trying to force you to wear a pride lanyard or a trans rights lanyard. That you have to put pronouns. They think they're in America, don't they? This is Whitley Bay. Whitley Bay. I don't know why. Oh, thanks. Oh, that's so nice. guys. They really do boost my ego when they use my name, so thanks very much, all of you. Issue that Let Women Speak speaks about, obviously right now we've got an issue with the safety of women and girls because of migrant hotels and this silence around that. And what, I think they might live in them, I don't know. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that women can say the unsayable, that it's no longer, it's not a bad thing to say things. You can say things that are wrong if you like too, in public. Yeah, I'm not a feminist. They keep shouting, you're not feminist, you're fashion. Genuinely not a feminist, but I am uber fashion. Hi, good afternoon.
Keep coming through.
Okay, does anyone else want to speak? Yes, come on. Look at t-shirt. It's really offensive. Can I just say, if anyone's really offended by this t-shirt, like the man in Glasgow, there's a helpline. You can call them.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I've had a rather strange week this week, along this nonsense. I had to go to the hospital this week for a lovely lady procedure. It was a vaginal pelvic probe carry-on. Nice, nice. Well, when I arrived, they took me in and the gentleman handed me a gown. Granted, he wasn't in a dress, he was just a gentleman. I went and got changed, put the gown on, came back into the room. There was a lady stood with a probe, and then this gentleman decided to just sit and stare at me. So when I asked why he was in the room, I was told he was the chaperone. I was told he was the chaperone because she was just learning. Obviously this is not something that I was happy with and wouldn't accept. So when I asked for him to be replaced with a female, I was told, sorry, you'll have to go back to the back of the queue and we will have to rebook your lovely procedure. At least I got the option to leave and wasn't screamed at and shouted at, so that's a little bit better than the last time I went for one and was called all the names under the sun. But on a good point, that aside, I'm from a little place called Hartlepool, Monkey Hanging Country. Yes, that's me. And we are actually getting a new leisure centre built. Now, not so long ago, I was advised that I had to go swimming because I have spinal and muscular problems. I took my niece, who was 10 years of age, swimming with me.
But the thing was, I raced for a whole season, got enough points to get up to national ranking number 5, and it was very short. I was at national ranking number 5 for about 2 weeks. Because it's hard, you know, it is really hard to get up to the top in sport. And the main point is, if there had been one single man competing in women's mountain biking at the time, I never would have got this. You know, I only had 2 international races, and it is very conspicuous because their argument is, I was born in the wrong body, and a lot of people...
This is Let Women Speak. We are a global movement of women that facilitates the free speech of women throughout the globe. We've toured Australia, had a small time in New Zealand, the United States of America, South America, throughout Europe, and in many, many cities and towns across the United Kingdom. And what happens when we go and talk in these places, quite frankly, is very, very silly people with terribly dyed hair. Not peroxide like mine, natural peroxide hair, but terribly dyed hair. And they come out in their very quiet, squeaky voices to try and tell us that we're not allowed to speak. And sometimes those squeaky voices actually belong to very violent and aggressive bodies, and they genuinely threaten us. And in New Zealand, they genuinely threatened my life. Now, why are we here? Well, we're here because your NHS, your schools, your care homes, your social workers, your police, your council, your government, your MPs, apart from the good man of Hartlepool, but they all stand on the side of lies, which is the transgender cult. And what is transgender? Well, it's a set of behaviours. If a woman calls herself transgender, she might take testosterone, which will sterilise her and give her early menopause. She may have her breasts removed. She's usually about 5'1", so she's easy to spot. She would also try and... See, she's a woman. She's a very cross woman. And she stands on the side of fetishists and perverts. So she wants me to shut up, but that's not going to happen. If you're a man calling yourself trans, it is very likely that you have a fetish about being a woman. You probably picked up your fetish by a whole lifetime of watching pornography.
Went there. That is appalling. Every time that he went there, the psychiatrist said, "Do you want that operation?" And he said, "No, no, no, no," again and again. He was a gay man who had put up with a lot of homophobia and internalised that homophobia. And that's what he wanted help with. Every time he went, "Do you want to have the operation?" Eventually, they blackmailed him. They said, the psychiatrist said to him, "If you do not agree to that operation," which cutting off your COCK, "then we will stop your psychotherapy." So he agreed to it simply because it was the only way that he could continue to get psychotherapy. And he said that as he went under the anaesthetic, he thought, "I'm not doing the right thing." When he came out of the anaesthetic, he had been horribly mutilated. He's had loads of repair operations, and he'll have to continue to have those operations the rest of his life. And he said, at 30 years old, "I'm incontinent, I'm in terrible pain." Something that you don't think about is when they invert the COCK to produce the false vagina. If you go off the female hormones and try and take male hormones again in order to detransition.
Before, this is... No, but I'm saying that was a wave of feminism.
It wasn't about men, was it? It was about women.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna continue this. Okay. Using feminism to erase the rights of others and endanger them is inherently unfeminist. Can I finish speaking? Can I finish speaking? Can I finish speaking?
Explain what a woman is.
I'm going to continue what I wrote as a woman that wanted to come and speak. I want to finish my report, please.
You're going to tell everyone what is a woman. What is a woman?
You're not letting women speak right now.
What is a woman?
Your question.
What is a woman? What is a woman?
Can I continue with what I wanted to say? Okay. By aligning yourself with the likes of Peterson, Elon, and Trump, you empower right. Can you leave me finish this? Can I finish reading this? I am nervous. Yeah, I am very nervous. So you standing next to me is making me a bit nervous. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because public speaking is nerve-wracking.
Thank you.
What? Yeah, because public speaking is nerve-wracking. I'm not saying that anything that you are saying it's all very situational, what you are saying. I'm just saying I want to finish what I wrote, and you are standing next to me. You're not standing next to anyone else. I feel like
her not just to speak, but also to describe. So often you break to and break my equipment. That's why I'm standing.
Right, okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's understandable. I won't, but I'm just nervous and I want to finish and just go. Yeah, okay. Okay, before, as I was saying, before I got interrupted many times, aligning yourself with the likes of the politicians like Elon and Trump, you empower that. I didn't finish. You empower the mentality that women serve a purpose, and that's to be controlled and fucked. Men with power can do what they want. Men that struggle to express emotion or are living under the constant financial, social, familiar pressures of what society tells them being masculine is. And all they can do is cause... Yeah, no, you didn't guess that one. Suicide. Suicide is the biggest killer in men under 50. 125 people die by suicide every week, according to Calm's website. Toxic masculinity isn't telling you masculinity itself is toxic. It's telling you toxic masculinity is toxic. Gender norms have harmed us. It is all a social contract. Gender norms have harmed us. You gave the government more control over my body as a woman because of your agenda of what the Supreme Court did. Going into bathrooms and checking the genitalia of people.
From London.
Thank you. Thanks. You're an idiot for this one.
Right, no, right, you can finish. I'm going to ask you this, right? I'm going to ask you this. No, she doesn't want to be tested. She wants to spout nonsense, but you don't want to be tested. Yeah, so what is a woman? What is a woman?
It is a gender.
Okay, but you just said that men are killing themselves. Men are killing themselves. How do you define them? The people that are killing themselves, right? Who are they? How do you know to identify what they are? Who are they? Who are they?
The statistics were based from somewhere where they identify themselves as men and most.
Okay, so that seems a bit exclusionary. So you're excluding men with vaginas from that. There's a practical genocide going on over there now. You've just totally erased trans men from that statistic. That is transphobic, isn't it? It's transphobic.
Can I finish? What I was saying, but right, just to describe to the people that are walking by or anyone on the other side, every time I say a sentence without elaborating, you take the microphone from me because I can't explain anything. You're not letting me speak. You're not letting me speak. I said what did I? Can I finish?
No, because it's too painful and boring. It's too painful and boring. How much longer have you got? How much longer have you got? Look, this is public speaking means if people interrupt you with cheering or shouting back at you, that's kind of their right. Right? I'm going to let her finish the speech because this is let women speak. I just want people walking by to know that this is not what most of the people here agree with, just in case anyone gets the idea that we're all a bit insane.
Right, thank you. Right, before I got interrupted yet again, I'm sorry. Right, where was I? Okay. Okay, if she wasn't interrupting me every single time. Yeah, because you didn't interrupt any other speaker. You didn't interrupt any other speaker. The shit would be 5 minutes, I would be away if you let me speak. Yeah, but you don't. Yeah, because that's a counter protest. I don't know. I'm not them. Okay. Right. Okay.
I'm just going to let her speak because, unlike them, she don't know what she's talking about, and I think it's good for everyone to see.
Yeah, the statistics from rape crisis helplines are definitely made up. Why are you saying this? Why are you saying this? this, what you are saying, is then causing a generalization, a very dangerous generalization. Cis-men! Cis-men! Yeah, cis-men. Okay, I'm gonna finish. Right, okay. So I stopped at where the government has more control of my body because of transphobic people like you, and they make millions off of it. My last thing I wanted to say is that I feel no threat for any trans person ever. Have I ever felt danger from a trans person? I don't know who you are protecting. You are not protecting human rights. Trans rights are human rights. They are. I don't know who I'm protecting. You are not protecting me as a woman. You're not protecting women. Because you are giving the government permission to take control and check people in the bathroom. Do you understand how deranged that is? No, I actually have more.
It's too boring and you're too silly. One sentence. I'm going to hold the microphone. One sentence.
Okay. So,
see, she's not frightened of women, is she? Because she knows that we're fucking women. Excuse my language.
okay, I'm gonna say one last thing. I feel no threat from any trans person.
Because I am a privileged woman and I don't feel any threat from any trans person because I don't recognise those trans people as men, even though they have a penis, and I'm going to just pretend that there is nothing wrong with these men, and that even though there's many in prison for sexual assault and abusing children, I'm just going to just pretend that everything is about me and my privilege. Is that right?
Have you ever spoken to trans people? Have you ever?
No, I've never met one. I've never seen a man with like stockings and suspenders frequenting a nightclub and making girls and women feel unsafe. No, that's never happened. I've never read the rape statistics. I've never looked at the prisons in this country where the men in women's prisons have raped women. The men who call themselves women in women's prisons have raped women. No, I've never seen that. Have you seen that? What do you think about that?
I think any form of rape is disgusting.
So those men who call themselves women, are they amongst the people that don't frighten you?
I think any kind of rape is...
The men that call themselves women that are serving time in British prisons for rape, are they the people that you say you feel safe with?
I'm not safe around any men, but that doesn't include... But you're generalizing, you're saying a very dangerous thing that all trans men are now dangerous. They're not dangerous.
You just slipped up because we're talking about trans women. But, you know, it's very difficult, isn't it? Because when you're not speaking the truth, it's very difficult to be accurate with your language, isn't it?
Have you spoken to any trans people? Do you have trans people in your life?
I actually don't think I have. Of course I've spoken to Kira Bell, I've spoken to detransitioners whose bodies have been irreversibly harmed.
You've not spoken to a trans person that is happy in their life?
Do they look happy to you? Do they? No. Do they? Or with their sticks and their scars?
All I see is trans joy.
We're done. Well, thank you. Thank you. This is... Yeah, how do you know you're a woman? How do you know you're a woman?
I identify as a woman.
Yeah, but how do you know? If I just land from space right now, right, I've just come from space, I've never seen a human, how do I know which are women and men? How do I know the difference?
Wait.
Women and men. Women, I'm from space. How do I know the difference between a woman and a man on this planet Earth?
The way you are socialised.
Okay, so what? So what would be the indicators? Give me 2 indicators of a man and 2 indicators of a woman.
Well, this is where things like gender norms come into place, how you raise your kid.
No, an example, concrete example. I'm an alien, I don't know. I want to know how to identify who is a man and who is a woman. Like with your metrics, because, you know, we could all be wrong, and you could be right, and it could all be about identification. So I'd like to know, how do we know whether we're men or women if our vaginas and penises don't make any difference?
Just the way you... No?
think it died. Hello? Just like your common sense. Anyway, have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Get your sign.
Hello?
Oh, Lord.
I think we've got one. Of that nurse. It's a bloke.
It's a man.
It's a man. Right. So that was a good lesson, wasn't it?
Everybody, that woman is an adult female human. This flag, you'll notice there's some blood on this flag from a woman, and the reason there's blood on this flag is because she was attacked by men pretending to be women. We know they're a danger. Men are the ones who rape, even if they're wearing a dress. Men are the ones who cause us significant harm when they're in our spaces.
Such good content.
A man going into a woman's space where he shouldn't be is a predator.
A predator! Yes!
Whether he's doing something for his own fetish,
A nonce! Yes!
or whether he's actively doing something to damage women. Men who invade the boundaries of women are predators.
And little girls!
Women and little girls have rights. Women and little girls are females. We know what they are. We know what the men are. We know what trans women are. They're men.
Yes!
And they have no right ever to be in a woman's space, a woman's service, a woman's sport, or to take away women's opportunities. Now, we've one of the biggest things you can do as a candidate is you can raise awareness. In my constituency, there's 11,000 people that I was able to let know what was going on. And I will do it again. I would urge anybody to consider, we cannot stop now. We're winning, but we cannot stop, or things will roll down. We need to keep pushing. There is no compromise. There are men and there are women. And women, adult, human, females. Thank you.
It's your role in society to try and tell women that refuse to be compliant that you're going to report them. You're going to come out with the men. And I'm also going to tell you, if you've decided to have a double mastectomy and then you have children, the pain that you will experience is something that you have no idea about. The pain of early menopause when you're 20.
What hit me is something hit me in the face. Reported it to the police. They've spoken to the women, but unless anyone's got any video evidence or there's other witnesses, nothing else will happen. And I think we need to be clear, this is what's happening to women. I was up at a Women Were Peached event in Aberdeen before, and a woman there got assaulted.
I don't think they know that I never lose, kids. Never lose. Anyway, so, except the battery on that. Hello? Oh, no, that's all right. Is it this one then? Oh, they're both working. I thought they'd gone. I just partially deafened myself. Okay, so I'm going to say the words that I didn't say at the beginning. So if you have small children, you haven't taught them about body parts, you're about to hear some. So we came here today, we came here all the way to Whitley Bay. There's many rhymes. No woman has a penis. No man has a vagina. There's no such thing as non-binary. And transitioning children is profound abuse. So, we are now going to go somewhere lovely where there's cold beverages, which will be nice. They can't stop us from doing that either. Look, if you can keep starting and continuing these conversations with all of the people in your lives, particularly people who have children at school, particularly people who trust the state in any capacity to look after their children, whether it's in a hospital, school, social club, wherever it is, please let them know what's going on. Keep having those conversations, and if you can do that, I promise we will win. If you can hold to account your police force, your NHS, your MP, your local government, your education system, if you can hold them to account and make sure they uphold the rights of women and girls, I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Pardon? Because I never lose. So I want to say thank you to all the hormone guzzling morons that came, made everything just so much better. Let's go and have a look at them. There they are. We can see your face. We can see your binder. Right, okay, thank you everyone. I'm going to switch off the live stream now.
Come.
I can see you're a woman. I can see you're a woman. I'm sorry, what? Why are you? That was good that she gave us the cult flag.
That was horrific.
Silly girl.
Do you want to walk away from the cars, just in case? It's a TRN one. It's fish and chips, I think.
Is it?
I don't think.